whichever we feel comfortable, we can take it and we can make use of it in the class, right? So it doesn't mean that we have to confine only with only these are the set of techniques, or only these are the methodologies. These are all few. As I said, it differs from individual to individual. So according to the classroom, the students background, the quantity of students, what you call the strength, the classroom strength, the background of the students. So everything matters a lot. When we as teachers, we design a methodology to be followed in a classroom, right? I hope you all would agree with this. Yes. So this is actually I have been in association with IoT Academy for around 4 to 5 years, and every uh, uh, a meeting, I feel like it is a sharing platform. So whatever I feel like I have experienced with my professional years, I take this as an opportunity and as a platform to share my ideas or my experiences with respect to the way of handling the classes with the students, right? So it doesn't mean like you people are unaware. People here, we all, as I said, we all belong to the same teaching fraternity. So every one of us, we may have our own methodologies. So this is just a sharing platform. This is how I view it, right? Hope you all would agree with my point. Now I just want to share whatever I feel about this. Maybe it may be matching with somebody's views also here, and maybe somebody may not have a positive approach with what I say, but it differs from individual to individual, right? So let me just share my screen. So innovation. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So just what you see here is not just an image. So what are all those uh, that comprises in a teacher, right? So teachers, we have it in a board, and this is what all we have as we teachers. We have all these set of inputs in us. Yes. So that is what it means. This image, and is I just want to begin with a small quote. So I hear and I forget. I see and I believe. I do and I understand. So this is what you call a basic principle of methodology. Only when it is done, when it is put in practice, we understand. Yes. So just hearing and just seeing to it, it won't be that very fruitful as it is being done. Yes. So now getting into this topic, innovative teaching method. So what does this term stands for? So literally innovation, the term innovation, as we say, so the term innovation itself is something that where we need to have active participation, right? So the process of proactively introducing new strategies and methods. Yes, so these we all are well aware of it. Yes, so innovation is it differs from individual to individual, and we derive our own active proactive strategies or methodologies in the classroom. These innovative methods, it is not just about how we are going to use technology, because today's world, and that too after this COVID, where we are being facing very many what you call distractions because of mobile users. Students, uh, we find very difficulty in our day-to-day classroom. So with that, this innovation is not something that is confined with technology. How we are using a smart board, how we are using the technology in the classroom. It is actually, we are just inculcating the latest trends, but we have our own learning methods. So methods is different and using technology is different. So let us not mix up these two. So that is just a tool. Technology is just a tool we use in order to explain what we want to, in order to share what we want to. But the methodology is entirely different. Next is uh, encouraging. So like how are we to encourage the students, the learners, to join actively? Because this is a great difficulty we find, because I have to accept, after this COVID, we find drastic change in the mindset of the students. It is very difficult for every teacher to make the students do work. I mean, do work in the sense, do activities in the classroom when compared with what we have done pre-COVID. Yes. So children, students, either the school children or the tertiary level, it is very, very difficult for us to make them actively participate because they are very reluctant. That is a basic thing. The students are very reluctant to do any sort of activities. They just want to come, sit, enjoy, and just leave. They don't have any sort of involvement. It is only like maybe 1% of the students, if it is in, if they are involved, that is a great achievement, we should say. So this sort of scenario that exists there. So they have to interact with the classmates. They prefer to interact only with their personal conversation, but not in terms of activity based interaction. So this is another drawback that we face. And students, they have to work, they have to understand their needs better, so they have to work for it. So all these need to be awareness need to be created in order to understand these intricacies. So that is what I feel. So even today, we find our own students, they are not that very involved. They just want to write the exams, get the marks for the, get through the examination, leave. So want to learn something, develop our intellectual, upgrade our knowledge. All these are almost gone. What they, if we say what they say, see, everything is in our hand. Technology is there. You want to write a letter, why should I learn letter writing? This is what the question I face with my students. Probably many of you here you may also be facing. Why should I learn a letter writing today if it is there in a click of my hand? If I click what sort of letter, what type of letter I need, to whom should I write, everything is there in the net. I can just get download it and write it according to me, just make few modifications and I can finish it off. Why should I learn how to write a letter, how to write a formal letter, how to write an informal letter, what is the format to be followed for a business letter? Why should I learn all this when everything is handy for me, everything is ready made for me? Yes. So these sort of questions we are not able to answer. Yes. So this is very difficult for us in today's world. I mean, today is a scenario to make the students go with, cooperate with us for the methodology that we want to implement in the classroom. Yes. So traditional teaching, we mainly focused on knowledge transformation. So whatever the knowledge the teacher possesses, they want that to be transferred, passed on to the students. So this is what traditional. But our innovative, it is what you call, we going for OBE. What is this OBE? Outcome based education. So if you are going to learn this paper, what is it that you are going to, what is the outcome of it? What is it that you are going to get benefit from this? In what way you are benefited from this? For example, you have a paper on journalism. Okay, if I study this paper, then once I complete this degree, I can go in for a diploma course or pursue my studies, or or even I can go for an internship with any of the media organization and train myself as a journalist. So this is what outcome is. So when we go through the outcome based education, probably maybe some changes we can expect. So these innovative methods, they go deep into what students really take away. So OBE is what really they take away from the classes. And in what way we have to make see one thing I want to tell you, my friends, we have to make our students understand by repeatedly talking about this with them, the benefits of doing all these activities, in what way they are going to get benefited. Because maybe probably that at that period of time they are not able to accept. But I find my own students here, where after completion of the degree, they go in for the job market. That time they realize that the activities that are being given to us, we didn't do it. If had we been done all those, we would have been performed better, right? So this sort of feedback I get from my own students. Probably many of you might have got this from your students also. So in that case, we have to tell them again and again, we have to tell them again and again the benefits of this innovative teaching method, right? So we need to encourage research in the sense like not a full-fledged a doctorate level research, right? So every paper that they do, so what is the benefit of it, and what is the what way that is going to help them in their professional stand, and in what way this is going to help them in problem solving and critical thinking skill. So relevant every paper, every course that we have, because according to OBE we call it as course, not a paper. So course we call. So when we call it as a course, like in what way that course is connected with the critical thinking skill or problem solving skill, everything. So avoid receiving a lot of inputs is not relishable in today's with today's students. They don't relish with plenty of giving lot of knowledge. They just want the base thing that would do. So in order to achieve this, we have to develop more patience, I should say. Teachers these days, they have to literally be an embodiment of patience, and how far they are able to understand, the students are able to understand, and how they self evaluate and make the classroom life. That is very important. So these have to be made I mean, these sort of things need to be uh, shared with the students in order to create awareness. Next is researchers, like we can even have their opinion. We can involve students to give their opinion on whether they are satisfied with the methodology or what would they prefer to do it, if they have any methodology of them, so they can even share it. So encouraging students to explore. So assignments in the form of, even we give assignments these days, but something that they where they could explore. So we can think about it and give seminars and what you call assignments, through which they can go for out of the box thinking, and they have to discover new things, and they have to broaden their minds. So these things need to be achieved only through a minor research. And how to improve the problem solving skills and the critical thinking skills. So this critical teaching, creative teaching methods, actually, we have a paper on creative writing these, according to this new NEP, I mean this NEP. So in that case, this creative teaching methods, they allow the students, uh, like they can learn on their own pace, right? So challenging them to brainstorm the new ways addressing the problem, finding answers already written in textbooks. So these are all various uh, ways of it, and how to avoid a lot of knowledge at once. See, actually, whenever a student sees a teacher, according to them, their perspective, teacher is a person who always wants to put lot of knowledge into the students. I mean, this is what they how they view us. So this sort of mindset should not be there with the students. So we have to make ourselves clear that we are not here only to stuff knowledge to them. We are here to make them, we are here as facilitators. So that is what OBE says. According to outcome based education, teachers are mere facilitators, right? No more teaching there. We create a learning environment and make the students to learn, learners to learn. So no more knowledge transformation. We just make them to do it practically. So in that case, new approaches, new information. So these days, students are highly informative than us, right? So we can split them into parts, and we can even split the knowledge that we want to share into parts and give them in a small dosage. Okay, so these are the few ways. And more of soft skill, adopting more of soft skill is required with the handling today's students, because their behavior in the classroom, their attitude, so everything has completely changed, I should say, after COVID. This is not only my voice. I hope you all, many of you here would agree with this, because this is a voice of the entire teaching fraternity. So irrespective of school or colleges, everybody is having only this statement. So it is very difficult to handle students post COVID. So still they are not able to come on the right track, I should say. So in that case, so we have to go for complex tools in the class to finish the work. So we have to go for new things. So spark on creativity, and we can even focus on individual project or group projects where students may know how to manage the time, prioritize the task, how to communicate, how to work with others, right? And better, and many more could be learned. And so how to check, we keep on saying, so adopting soft skill there, this, that activities. So how to check not only the examinations and grades, right? So not only with the examinations and grades that gauges the knowledge or the capability of the student, right? So how they are able to correlate it. Yes, so that is what is important there. So so ideas that let the teachers to monitor the classes, so how they know better, how the students are able to find solution. So many such we can even go for quiz test, quizzes, so which can make them be active in the class, right? So this, like this, we have to be little more rather than preparing pages of pages these days. We have to be more creative, I should say. Teachers have to be more creative in how to engage the students in the class actively. Yes. So self evaluation, so how to improve students evaluation. So they have to understand what they have learned and what they are missing, and they still need to know like what they can understand, and they have to have the quality of eagerness to learn. That is very important. So there are some instances where I should say, when we go in for activities, classroom becomes a noisy place. Yes, so where it becomes a distraction, and it goes, certain instances it goes beyond our control. Class should not go out of our control. So it, and it should be full of our, I mean, our classroom control should be there with us. And awkward silence. So these two, two extremes. And this teaching methods, what you call this innovative teaching methods, it should give students a different sort of excitement. Yes, they should have the encouragement to speak. They should be encouraged to interact. So that sort of difference should be there with the mindset of the students in order to make them uh, keep them alive in the class. Yes, not boredom. So why should we go in for these innovation is like academic outcomes, improvement in academic outcomes is there, right? And the real problems, when we go for addressing real problems, that is what I say, like we have to, these days it becomes necessity for us to correlate whatever the ideas we say with the live examples, right? So only then they will be able to learn. So not like our days where we were given such examples. This is this, and we learned that. So now theoretically nobody is ready to learn unless or otherwise we give them live examples. And this makes, in a way, this makes them to learn easier and effective. And experimenting with this diverse strategies actually in an interactive process. So in a way, it helps teachers in promoting learning, and it encourages the students' growth. So, in a way, uh, hybrid learning, I should say, hybrid learning is encouraging, because all through the day, being with the classroom with chalk and talk, it won't suffice in today's with today's students. At the same time, online always it also won't be that very effective. So, hybrid learning is very very important. Hybrid learning is very very important. So this is a welcoming strategy. And laptop screens, staring at it, it is always easier for the students, but uh, to get lost with the concentration. Yes. And students, uh, like uh, like we can't blame them, because that we are not to give dry lessons for them. So we have to make even the dry lessons to be informative and enthusiastic. That is, we have to be creative. How, you can ask me how to make it, so it depends on our creativity. Yes. So how to create an innovative learning environment for students. So more focus on practical learning, right? And we have to then in there we have to be a counselor, faculty counselor also. So where we have to change the mindset of the students, and make them to go for self evaluation. We have to encourage them that self evaluation, self appraisal is very very important. So we have to frequently throw open ended questions which will give room for thinking. Yes. And we have to develop the like case study questions. Even it appears for students of sixth standard in from the any CBSE pattern school. So that is actually a problem solving uh, attitude. So that is in a way that is good, because it keeps the a brain active, and they won't get boredom. And how to integrate innovation in daily curriculum. So interactive lessons, blended learning, so design thinking process, crossover teaching, personalized learning, QR codes. So these are a few of the methods. And here also we have few more methods: project based learning, inquiry, jigsaw, cloud computing, flipped classroom, peer teaching, peer feedback. So these are all the various methods to integrate the innovation in the daily curriculum. So the interactive lessons is uh, they are actually students. We are actually, every classroom is an experiment. It is a laboratory, like, yes. So we are experimenting with the students, and innovation happens only in the laboratory. Is it not? So the same way, classroom is a laboratory where we conduct experiments with the students in terms of learning process. So one way lessons, they are very traditional and somewhat exhaustive. So playing with games or quizzes are always what you call make the class, make the students more encouraging. So when we go in for blended learning, previously we went for hybrid, the same. So traditional in-class training and online teaching, combination of these two. Okay, so this actually gives more flexibility, and students, they go to join for offline. You have to encourage them to go for offline classes and not for online always. At times they can go in for it only, at times, not always. And solution based strategy to solve problems, so collaborate and spark the students creativity. So 5 stages, what you call like step by step guidance there. So they have to get along with how, what is it that they are going to do next on their own. Yes. And what are the 5 stages there? Previously we had this 5 stages of design thinking. So the 5 stages is what you find on the screen now: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So empathizes, we develop empathy, yes, and we find out the needs for the solution. And define is we define the issues. So we think and generate new. Prototype is sample of the solutions, and test is we evaluate and gather feedback. So these 5 stages are necessary for a thinking process. Next is project-based learning is we can give in for a small documentary film on any social issue, and we can plan and organize an activity. So these days where students are well versed in doing it. So creating and managing social media account for a specific purpose, and illustrate and analyze the cause and effect of a social problem. Yes. So these are all a minor level project through which learning could happen. And next is inquiry based learning. So instead of giving a lecture, we can start by posing a question, right? So they have to give a solution for it. Yes. So when we pose a question, start with a question, a problem, or a scenario. And problem based learning, so it doesn't rely much on it, and more likely to be facilitator than a lecturer. So we are here in today's scenario. We are no more lecturers or assistant professors or professors. We are facilitators. That's all. Irrespective of the designation, our role is a facilitator. We are here only to facilitate. Yes. So this is what OBE says. And the next is jigsaw method. So it is a small game. Yes. So we have an example here which you can see in the screen. So give the class a concept like weather. So they have to find out like how many adjectives they can talk about this season, this particular season, and they can describe about how do they describe a nice weather and a bad weather, and how weather improves, and sentences that could be written. So these are all connected with this. Next is cloud computing. This is actually way to connect teachers and students, where allow to access classes and materials. And we have a lot of potential for all the institutions and educators these days. And uh, uh, like a little different from online learning, where it requires no interaction. Students can learn anytime, anywhere. So this is to finish the course. This is something like what we go for NPTEL and SWAYAM courses, right? So recorded, pre-recorded, and they can play it and listen to it at their own comfortable time, and at the same time they can finish the course, they have their examination. So this is in a way a welcoming one, where they won't get that very boredom. At the same time they'll gain knowledge also. Next is flipped classroom, is where students will be asked to watch videos, read materials, and based on it they have to understand and gain knowledge. And class time, it is devoted to doing the class, class work, what you call class work in the sense here, the classroom learning. Yes, assignment, what you call, it is not literally assignment here. Anything that is written in the class is a classwork or a class assignment. So they can go it before the class, and debates, discussion, everything. So the strategy, it centers around students, and it can help teachers uh, uh, also to plan better for their class, and evaluate students' performance also. Next is feedback. So it is more towards learning. So they have to go in for feedback here. Doesn't literally mean giving feedback about the faculty. They have to, students should make themselves clear with the course, the feedback about the course. Yes, and feedback about the activity that they have done, not about the faculty, right? And uh, they have to provide and receive constructive feedback with an open mind, and you have to make it meaningful comments. Yes. So crossover teaching, this is actually a combination of experience of learning in both classroom and outside, and it is more effective and to further develop the lesson, because unless or otherwise we bring in things that happened outside, we cannot make these students get interested inside the classroom. Yes, so assigning, we can assign them work in class. So for example, we can take them to field trip, and we can make them to observe everything there, and after coming back they can be assigned a submission of a report, a submission of what they experience in the form of a report, either a group work or an individual. So this sort of activity, it can help them in a better way. Personalized, next is personalized learning. So this is where we have a strategy thing is, we cannot generalize all the students. So one strategy may work for one student, the same would be working for another student. So in that case, introvert, extrovert students are there. So in that case, it is again a Herculean task for the teachers. How are going to implement this? Yes. So the learning process of every student, it takes more time. They take more time to plan, prepare, help students learn, and based on the interest, needs, strength, and weakness. And each student's learning journey, it is different. And to acquire knowledge or to merely acquire a degree, so it differs. And what is this QR codes? So these days, because of this technology, wherever we come across, they go in for QR codes. So we can even give them an activity to develop their own QR codes. So using applications, these days everybody is computer exposed. Days are gone with our period, like where only when we want we go in for the classes and we learn computers. Now even our own children at the young age, they learn on their own, explore and learn. So in that case, at all levels, so they can think about designing their own QR codes, and students, you can direct the students to for the information by simply scanning the code, and the student can use this QR code to get material. Yes, and they can use it purposefully for learning, and they can design their own and share it with their friends, even parents also. So how can this help them to become better at teaching, from our side? How can this innovation can help us better at teaching us? So when we apply these strategies in the classroom, right, then automatically what happens is, so teaching methods are improved, because teacher hold the whole class uninterrupted talking, I mean lecturing in the class is totally um, it is totally come a decrease, there is a decrease in, it is reduced. So in that case, we need to accept the development or the growth that takes place, and which is exactly that is the growth with the mindset, and there is room for improvement, and we invest our time in developing new strategies. So previously we used to take notes, these are also, it is also there, but now it is more of lessened, uh, rather than we focus on how to create activities. Yes. So create something new, adopt existing methods. We have the same method, but we go in for a different approach. Yes. So a culture of innovation, creativity, and student centric approach is very important. So as student, do we really gain more from class by sitting passively for 45 minutes lecture, or we are likely to learn actively by participating in the class? So these distinction between these two should be understood by the students. Yes, so that is up to us to make them understand. So now coming to this future of this innovation teaching, we keep on talking about so many strategies, methods, and all those. So what is the future of these innovative teaching? We keep on saying innovative, innovative. Every class is an innovative, every day is an innovative, every set of students are innovative, they are experiments, we are experimenting. So in that case, what is the future of this is, so it will become a practice, an academic practice, and the strategies becoming more very common today in many of the institutions. So as long as we keep innovating, not like beating the bush with the same methodology, we go in for different methodologies in the classroom, we are also in a way developing, we are also using our creativity. So it's always an exciting classroom, is a place of excitement for the students. So we are not to make it a very monotonous place, and excitement when many are looking to introduce, so challenging students to face, when making the students capable enough to face today's challenges is what we are doing, right? So every one of us, we have to think it in that way, so that our class becomes a highly informative class. At the same time, learning also takes place from the students, and from our side, we don't have that heavy work as we were doing in the past. Yes, so this is from both sides beneficial. So how do these method of teaching that help in better classroom management is, so this help, these actually this use of technology, it helps to engage the students with different kinds of stimuli, and an environment, it creates an environment of activity based learning, whereas it makes the content of the classroom more interesting and more fun also. Yes, so make the class lively in the sense, we need to have interesting topics, we need to have interesting methodologies, and we need to have learning, we need to make the learning fun. So teacher teaching techniques in higher education. So many results are many, I mean, many research have been has been conducted, And what they find is the best approach is mixed method. Yes. So student centric together with teacher centric. So we give equal weightage to these two. And education planning and previous readiness. So students should be ready to do. At the same time, teacher also should be ready to give creative activities for the students. Yes. So in that case, planning and readiness from both sides, it becomes very important. Yes. And the mixed method is always a welcoming one where student centric activities can be done, and teacher centered learning also, teacher centered knowledge transformation also takes place through activities. Okay. And uh, so I just want to finish it off with a quote. So our need will be the real creator, or in other words, if we say necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah, okay. So unless we have the necessity, so we don't go in for any innovation. So students should be made to understand uh, that there is a need in today's globalized environment to equip themselves to face the global market, job market, is professional stand. So in that case, they have to make themselves acquainted or familiar with all these that we came across. We have to make them understand. So playfulness and lethargicity is, uh, we have to make them understand. It is not going to reap them any, it is, they are not going to reap harvest. Yes. So they have to understand, they have to incorporate, they have to bring in changes. So all these are uh, necessary for them to understand and accept. And from the view of the teachers, as we teachers, our centric is we are not only here to give only education, we are here to shape the individual also. Yes. So in that case, we have to, today's teachers, they need enormous patience, right? So because with whatever the student does in the classroom, we need to have the peak of tolerance and patience. So with with the way of their, even the students' way of dressing, their attitude, their way of talking with the teachers. So everything has totally changed. I hope all of you will agree with it. So in that case, bringing in innovation is really a challenge for us. So that is why I said every class is a challenge. Every classroom is an laboratory, an experiment that we conduct, that we teachers conduct. Yes. So let us bear all these in mind and try our level best to make them understand that this is all these, after all these is done only for their benefit. And we are not going to be the beneficiary in any way. So that sort of thought should be there. And I hope I have done my job here. And if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer here.